Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bole, Namah Shivaya. कोटेश्वराय शिव कोटेश्वराय, हर हर भोले नमः शिवाय। कोटेश्वराय शिव कोटेश्वराय, हर हर भोले नमः।
ॐ न कर्मणा न प्रजया धनेन त्यागे नैके अमृतत्वमानशुः परेण नाकं निहितं गुहायां विभ्राजते यद्यतयो विशन्ति वेदान्तविज्ञानसुनिश्चितार्था सन्न्यासयोगाद्यतय शुद्धसत्त्वाः ते ब्रह्मलोके तु परान्तकाले परामृताः परिमुच्यन्ति सर्वे दह्रं विपापं परमेश्मभूतं यत्पुण्डरीकं पुरमध्यस्सगस्थं तत्रापि दह्रं गगनं विशोकस्तस्मिन् यदन्तस्तदुपासितव्यं यो वेदादौ स्वरप्रोक्तो वेदान्ते च प्रतिष्ठितः तस्य प्रकृतिलीनस्य यः परः स महेश्वरः न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकं नेमा विद्युतो भान्ति कुतोऽयमग्निः तमेव भान्तमनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति।
आरति श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की दिव्य रूप मूर्ति करुणा की। आरती सद्गुरु की, आरती सद्गुरु की, आरती सद्गुरु की।
We stand as one family, bound to each other with love and respect. We serve as an army, courageous and disciplined, ever ready to fight against all low tendencies and false values, within and without us. We live honestly, the noble life of sacrifice and service, producing more than what we consume, and giving more than what we take. We seek the Lord's grace to keep us on the path of virtue, courage, and wisdom. May thy grace and blessings flow through us to the world around us. We believe that the service of our country is the service of the Lord of Lords, and devotion to the people is the devotion to the Supreme Self. We know our responsibilities. Give us the ability and courage to fulfill them. Om Tat Sat.
Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. 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 Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha.
Page 22, Prathna Piyush. Brahma Murari Surarchita Lingam, Brahma Murari Surarchita Lingam, Nirmala Bhashita Shobhita Lingam, Nirmala Bhashita Shobhita Lingam, Janmaja Dukha Vinashaka Lingam, जन्मज दुःखविनाशकलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं देवमुनिप्रवरार्चितलिङ्गं देवमुनिप्रवरार्चितलिङ्गं कामदहं करुणाकरलिङ्गं कामदहं करुणाकरलिङ्गं रावणदर्पविनाशनलिङ्गं रावणदर्पविनाशनलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं सर्वसुगन्धिसुलेपितलिङ्गं सर्वसुगन्धिसुलेपितलिङ्गं बुद्धिविवर्धनकारणलिङ्गं बुद्धिविवर्धनकारणलिङ्गं सिद्धसुरासुरवन्दितलिङ्गं सिद्धसुरासुरवन्दितलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं कनकमहामणिभूषितलिङ्गं कनकमहामणिभूषितलिङ्गं फणिपतिवेष्टितशोभितलिङ्गं फणिपतिवेष्टितशोभितलिङ्गं दक्षसुयज्ञविनाशनलिङ्गं दक्षसुयज्ञविनाशनलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं कुङ्कुमचन्दनलेपितलिङ्गं कुङ्कुमचन्दनलेपितलिङ्गं पङ्कजहारसुशोभितलिङ्गं पङ्कजहारसुशोभितलिङ्गं सञ्चितपापविनाशनलिङ्गं सञ्चितपापविनाशनलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं देवगणार्चितसेवितलिङ्गं देवगणार्चितसेवितलिङ्गं भावैर्भक्तिभिरेव च लिङ्गं भावैर्भक्तिभिरेव च लिङ्गं दिनकरकोटिप्रभाकरलिङ्गं दिनकरकोटिप्रभाकरलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गम् अष्टदलोपरिवेष्टितलिङ्गं अष्टदलोपरिवेष्टितलिङ्गं सर्वसमुद्भवकारणलिङ्गं सर्वसमुद्भवकारणलिङ्गम् अष्टदरिद्रविनाशनलिङ्गम् अष्टदरिद्रविनाशनलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं सुरगुरुसुरवरपूजितलिङ्गं सुरगुरुसुरवरपूजितलिङ्गं सुरवनपुष्पसदार्चितलिङ्गं सुरवनपुष्पसदार्चितलिङ्गं परात्परं परमात्मकलिङ्गं परात्परं परमात्मकलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गम्
Hari Om. First of all, I would like to encourage all the parents of Bal Vihar children to enroll your children in the Gita competition. Many of us who grew up in India, we did not have the opportunity to learn Gita or chanting or even how to chant. This is a rare opportunity. So avail your children of this opportunity. Teachers are teaching them how to chant, how to memorize. So please enroll your children. Karturagnaya prapyate phalam karma kim param karma tajjadam. Karturagnaya prapyate phalam karma kim param karma tajjadam. Kruti mahodadau patana karanam phalam shashvatam gati nirodhakam. Kruti mahodadau patana karanam phalam shashvatam gati nirodhakam. Ishwararpitam nechaya krutam chitta shodhakam mukti sadhakam. Ishwararpitam nechaya krutam chitta shodhakam mukti sadhakam. Karturagnaya prapyate phalam karma kim param karma tajjadam. I had promised you that I will address the Nitya, Naimittika, Kamya, Nishiddha and Prayaschita karma that I had referred to but forgot to explain in the last session. First of all, Raman Maharshi Ji talks about the result of the action is not in our hand, which we have seen in detail. Yet, I want the result. And not knowing this, man goes on doing Kruti Mahodadau, Patana Karanam. Patana Karanam, meaning he does action, he experiences joy, joy does not last, he repeats the action, more and more vasanas get accumulated, and thus the chakra, the cycle of action, vasanas, action, just continue, and it does not allow him to even think any further. He gets trapped because the vasanas keep the mind and intellect heavy, always agitated. What is the solution? So now Bhagavan says that any action you do, offer it to Bhagavan. Ishvara arpitam, offering it to Bhagavan. How and what kind of action should I do? Na ichchaya krutam, and the result would be chitta shodhakam mukti sadhakam. So first of all, Ishvara arpita buddhi and na ichchaya krutam. So actions that I do are 5 types. First is Nitya and Naimittika karma. Nitya karma traditionally used to involve the karmas that I regularly do, puja, japa, scriptural reading, etc., for my mind's purification, and the routine things that you and I have to do every day, getting children ready, etc., from morning till evening, that we have to do every day. This is called Nitya karma. Naimittika karma are karmas that we have to do occasionally on wedding, somebody is not well. So occasionally, but it is our responsibility to do this karma. And the third one is called Kamya karma. Kamya karma are called desire prompted karma. Now, naturally, sannyasis do not have any, supposed to not have any desires. But you and I who live in the world, especially during Brahmacharya ashram, meaning the first part of our life when one is a student, Grihastha ashram, and to a certain extent, even in the third part when the children have gone and are there on their own, still there are certain desires. The desires should I not do? Remember, Na ichchaya krutam, meaning when it comes to my daily karyakram, daily desire things, there is no ichcha. I have to get the children ready to go to school. I have to get ready to go to work. All these things, whether I have a desire or not, these are na ichchaya krutam. But kamya karma, I have an option to do or not to do. Now, during grihastha ashram, meaning as an individual who is married with children in a family life, there are so many desires. There are so many challenges. And let us face it, it is not always easy to 100% even follow dharma, though one is supposed to follow dharma. For example, right? In a family, suppose the mother comes and tells something to the son and happens to make a comment or something about his wife, the son's wife. And it may not be exactly positive, but this is what happened, and son, I'm just letting you know. The wife sees the mother talking to the mother-in-law talking to the son. And vice versa. Sometimes the wife maybe tells something about mother-in-law. Now, when the wife would ask, or mother-in-law, mummy would ask, and the son says, "Kuch nahi usme, nothing important." It may be important, but he does not want to tell because it will create further trouble. And it is better to keep harmony between daughter-in-law and mother-in-law. Now the son may not lie, but he does not exactly speak the truth. There is a slight compromise with dharma, and sometimes he may even lie just to keep the harmony. I'm just giving you one example. There are so many things happen. Sometimes you tell children, no, we cannot do it, and you all know that you are not telling the truth. But grihastha ashram is made up of that. Kamya karma, when it is done for my own pleasure and I compromise with the value, there are absolutely no. Because my ichcha, my desire is that I want to do it. And it says, na ichchaya krutam. But as a person who is married to, for my spouse's desire to fulfill, I must do kamya karma, meaning to fulfill her desire is the job of the husband, or to fulfill his desire is the responsibility, duty of the wife, and together to fulfill the desire of growing up children is also their duty. But while performing the duty, they must be alert not to compromise with the values. So it is not that you absolutely do not do any desire prompted activity. In grihastha ashram, it is very natural. But no compromising with the values. Now, in case if I compromise with the value, then there is prayaschita karma, meaning you repent certain activities. You might decide that, hey, Bhagwan, I did this knowingly. I will fast for 3 days or 2 days or one evening, whatever is to atone, to repent. Hey, this I did, so that next time I will be alert and I will not do this. Is called prayaschita karma. 1 second here, my computer is acting up and Anisha, I'm not getting my view to be, oh, okay, gallery view, there we go. For a second, the gallery view disappeared, I didn't know what to do. Nishiddha karma is a karma that one should not do, and common sense tells us not to do. For example, killing an individual for my benefit, right? Just to pick his pocket, but he's there, so coming from the back and shooting him and taking the pocket away. Now, for a Sainik, remember, to defend the country, it is a duty. But for a thief, or a gunda, for a pickpocketing, or for his selfish reason to kill, is nishiddha karma. Now, nishiddha karma, you can't just say my prayaschit. Of course, you should do prayaschit karma, but that is a karma that should not be done. That's called nishiddha karma. So it is the kamya karma where I always have to be very, very careful that I do not compromise with the value, because the desire is there. Naturally, I want to fulfill legitimate desires. And remember, there are always more desirers than desirable things. Flowers are few, many people want. house on the lake, house on the river, house on the ocean, house on the mountain are fewer. Everybody wants it. Beautiful girls are few. Everybody wants to marry them. Nice jobs are few. Everybody wants those jobs. That is the case, but not everybody gets it. And I want to maintain that attitude of Ishwararpitam, na Ichchaya Krutam. Ishwararpitam in two ways. One, I offer whatever I do. Now, when I have to offer, obviously, I will not murder someone and say, Bhagwan, I'm offering it to you. So, Nishitta karmas are not done. Kamya karma, Lord, I have a desire this to take my children to Disney World. Then you make an effort, etc. If it gets fulfilled, great. If not, the result is accepted. This is Arpana Buddhi, na Ichchaya Krutam. And when I act, Prasada Buddhi is to accept the result. Arpana Buddhi is to offer my activity, the dedication, as we had seen earlier, that all the employees naturally are expected to be dedicated to the employer. And in our heart, right now, all these athletes who are playing, or not playing, but participating in Olympic contest, every individual, no matter which country they are coming from, what are they in their heart? What is it? I dedicate this sport and all that I will do at the feet of my country. So if I get the Olympic medal, it is not mine. It is a gaurav. It is a matter of pride for my country. See, this is called samarpana, at the feet of the motherland. But as you and I understand that when I came into the world, the universe was already there. In order to create anything, I have to have knowledge. Then that natural supreme power obviously had the knowledge to create the world in which I came, and everything was already there for me, including my body, mind, intellect, all these things. So naturally, whatever I do, as my understanding increases, I dedicate it to the Lord of my heart. Whoever he may be, if you do not know, or Ramakrishna, as you are brought up with, I have not met him, but he is the creator. So, hey Bhagwan, whatever I do, I offer unto you. And the result that comes is not always what I want. Sometimes it is way more than I deserve. And other times it is less. Everyone has experienced it. Right? Sometimes you get praise and you haven't done much. Right? Especially in an organization, the leader gets praised and say, I have done nothing. Others did it. But no, you are the leader, they recognize. And sometimes others do things the leader doesn't even know. Your organization did it. The leader gets criticized. This is the way. So at times I get more, at times I don't. Hey Bhagwan, you are Sarvajna. I am Alpajna. With this attitude, remember, the whole objective is what? Kruti mahodadam patana karanam. Why? As I do more and more selfish activities with Sarir, Man and Buddhi, body, mind and intellect, contacting the world of OET, every experience leaves behind vasanas. I enjoy the fruit, but phalama ashashvatam. The fruit does not last. And I do action again and again, and variety of actions to keep me happy, because the same thing doesn't give me joy all the time. Thus my vasanas go on increasing. Kruti mahodudav patana karanam. I don't see the seashore. I'm in the middle of the karma ocean, and the individual gets weighed down, agitations, etc. Now he wants to get out of this agitation. As I said, empty stomach feels good. Now he wants to reduce the agitations, reduce the vasanas. And this happens through offering the activity at the feet of the Lord, whereby I accept the result as is. When I accept the result, what happens? Chitta Shodhakam. Someone had asked me this question: how do you reduce the vasanas? When I do not offer it to Bhagwan and do not accept it as prasad, I did it, I want it, I don't get it, I repeat the action, I get mad, all these things. But when I accept a prasad in the mandir, There are no qualms, no agitations. I accept it as is. So prasada buddhi meaning when I act, I offer all my actions because Bhagwan, without you, I cannot act. And prasad, I accept both terms. Now, as I do more and more action with the attitude of prasada buddhi, vasanas go on reducing. And that is called here chitta shodhakam. And as the mind becomes quieter and quieter, then only the individual who was into kruti mahodadav, just doing one action after another for my happiness, my family's happiness, now he begins to wonder, look, every time I don't get what I want, there are times I get more. Who is behind this? Thus he starts inquiring. And he comes to know, and he starts offering this Ishwararpitam. And then more jignasa, I want to know really, who is this Sarvagna? Who is this Bhagwan? Who is this creator that everybody is talking about? This jignasa can only come when the mind is relatively quiet. Remember, gross things come to everybody. But as we go further and further, everybody goes to school. Number of people going to college reduces. And when we get to nuclear physics, higher mathematics, less and less people, because minds are not quiet, not ability. So this for Brahma Jignasa, who is this creator also? Mind has to be quiet. So he says, Chitta Shodhakam Mukti Sadhakam. Excuse me. Now the question is, how do I maintain this position all the time, whereby I offer every action to Bhagwan? Let us be honest. It is not that easy. Every one of us have experienced when we get into something, we forget. It is only when we think that the result is not coming, suddenly, Krishna, please help me. Right? But if everything is going well, the way we want it, we don't even remember Bhagwan. This is a fact of life. How do I develop and maintain this particular feeling whereby I am always remembering Bhagwan? Now see, friends, one of the things is to see yourself in your position in creation. See, every part of my body keeps working with what buddhi? Think of it. Dedicating everything, not knowing, please understand, not knowing, but everything that every anga, every part of the body does is for what? It offers it to at the feet of the body, isn't it? Mouth eats for what? So that the body will get nourishment. Stomachs digest. Why? Because after digestion, all the essential things will be taken, and the intestines, they do their job. Blood does its job. White bacteria, this thing cell, red cells, bone marrow. Everybody, every part does its own job. And every part dedicates their work to who? To the total physical body. Remember, when you go to sleep, right, your mouth is not eating, right? Does the stomach complain that mouth is just resting, legs are resting, hands are resting? Why should I go on digesting? Do the intestines say, why should we go on working when the legs are sleeping? No. They each do their function because their responsibility, their position relative to rest of the parts of the body is such that this is what they have to do when the rest of the body is resting. In the very same way, I am an integral part in the universe, not just in my family, integral part just as every part in my body, irrespective of whether they are recognized or not. They go on doing their job according to their position in the body, right? Kidneys will do on doing its job. Heart will go on pumping. Heart doesn't say, 26th January or 15th of August or 4th of July, Independence Day, and it's a 3-day weekend and I'll take one extra day. 4 days in coma and no more breathing. No, no, no. It goes on working from the day you are born till the day you die. But the mouth doesn't eat all the time. In the same way, friends, understand, every one of us have a unique position in this universe, not multiverse, in this universe. Every tree, you think of it, plant, bananas will not grow in Alaska. They will grow closer you go to Vishuvrut, equator, they will grow more and more. Avocados will not grow here in Houston. Avocados we have to import. And certain things will grow. Why? Because they adapt themselves to the environment and they exhibit their ability in the same way. The human tendency is what? So and so is recognized. I want to do that. Wherever Bhagwan has planted you, you bloom there. In other words, everyone has been given certain abilities. You use that ability to serve God, natural, meaning serve the world around you. Because that is exactly what your position is. But what do we do? If she gets away, why should I not? So I must see my relative position in the world and continue doing what comes natural to me. What is the way I can serve and offer all of it at the feet of the Lord. And to maintain this, Bhagwan says there are three things. What is it? Kaya Vangmana Karyamuttamam. Kaya Vangmana Karyamuttamam. Pujanam Japas Chintanam Kramat. Pujanam Japas Chintanam Kramat. Kaya Vangmana Karyamuttamam. Pujanam japas chintanam kramat. Pujanam japas chintanam kramat. Bhagwan says, in order to keep this in your mind all the time, there are three things, as we saw last time. If I want to maintain my health, and I want to do weightlifting, Surya Namaskar or whatever. Now at home, you can do certain things. But when you get up and go to gym, where there are other 50 people are doing, there are so many equipment, one is cycling, one is swimming, when they are all doing it, you get into that mood and say, I want to do it. But if you are alone, let me have a nice cup of tea. Tulsis are growing, not now, once the heat comes. Let's just have a garam chai and then I will do it. But then while drinking the tea, you say, let us have, one paratha or whatever. And then say, after paratha, how can I do it? I will do it in the afternoon. Thus, we keep postponing. We cannot maintain, but if I'm in the gym, I will do it. So whatever I want to accomplish, I surround myself with those things. Now, I want to maintain this attitude of remembering Bhagwan all the time and offer everything to him. Meaning, I want to be a devotee of Bhagwan and remember, because a devotee always offers. Now, please pay attention. Okay? Think. When I enter the mandir, what happens? Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, Mr. Pune, whatever your position is in the world, father, mother, brother, whatever, you enter the temple. Right? And let us say you enter our Shiva temple on Monday evening, and you bring half a gallon, 1 gallon of milk, few bananas, whatever, and you enter. Who is entering? Vice President of this particular company, right? KBR. And once you enter, the vice president there is dropped at the door. Now what are you? Hey Bhagwan, I'm a bhakta. Carrying this milk for you, Shiva, and banana, because there is Radha and Krishna, Shiva, Ganpati, Ram, and all this I'm offering. This fruit and milk that I'm bringing is the fruit symbolizing all my activities in the world, and the results of which I'm enjoying because of you, Bhagwan. So these fruits represent my karma and karma phala. So the fruit, what am I doing? Dedicating it at your feet. Karma I do, nitya namitika kamya karma. The fruits of it, hey Bhagwan, I give it to you. Then you sit through the puja. At the end of it, Ganeshji, the priest, will give you some prasad. My karma and phala given to Bhagwan. Now I get prasad. And chup chap, meaning without arguing, whatever he gives, I accept it as prasad. You never say that, look, I brought that milk or I brought bananas that were so good and you are giving me this overripe banana. No. Whatever the prasad comes, you accept with a smiling face. In other words, when I'm in temple, my attitude is 100% Ishwararpitam. Na ichchaya krutam. I don't suddenly start singing some other song and all these things. Whenever he says Jai Jagadish Hare, I chant Jai Jagadish Hare. When he chants Rudram, I chant Rudram. Right? According to na ichchaya krutam. Remember, and I accept the fruit. Why am I able to do it? Because I become a devotee. He is my Lord, Bhakta and Bhagwan. Bhakta accepts what Bhagwan gives all the time. Now, when I step out of the mandir, as we saw last time, again, when I talk to my son, I'm a father. When I talk to my father, I'm a son. When I talk to my spouse, I'm a spouse. Thus, I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a son. And every role has its own pluses and minuses, its joys and sorrows. If I leave the devotee in me right in the mandir, then that becomes a role where I was really happy because I was not expecting anything. Mind and intellect were quiet, na ichcha krutam, and I accepted the fruit. Now here, I told you 100 times not to do it. Why did you do it, son? You just don't listen to me. Right? What happened? Suddenly agitations, right? Talking to the son, daughter, something good is happening. Thus in life, everything. And you go to the office and your one of your salesperson comes and says, we lost that business because the manufacturing couldn't deliver in time and the other supplier, all these things, and now you are upset, you have lost business. Thus at all different things. And I forget that I'm a devotee. And I want to maintain that thought all the time. So what is my relationship and how do I maintain it? The example we saw is that of ocean and waves. The wave that is born in Indian Ocean or Atlantic, Pacific or Gulf, they all have the same relationship with the ocean. They were part of the ocean. In fact, they were ocean itself. Out of ocean, the wave rises as if created by the creator, the ocean. And now the wave has risen. One has risen in Indian Ocean, another has risen in Gulf, another in Pacific, Atlantic, all these oceans. And from this ocean, from this wave, another smaller waves are born. And then the mother wave says, look, you are here in Atlantic, but originally I came from India, Indian Ocean, and that is your mommy wave, masi wave, mama wave. Thus, all these relationships are taught. Each one of these relationships starts after the wave is born. And it ends when one of the waves dies, the relationship ends. But every wave has the same relationship with the ocean during their entire life, that the ocean is the creator and I am an integral part of the ocean. All other relationships, they come, they exist, and they die. But my relationship with ocean doesn't even die after I die, meaning after the wave dies, what happens? Wave becomes an integral part of the ocean, again to rise as a wave with the same relationship. It is 24/7. This relationship of a devotee, the Bhakta and Bhagwan, that I have in Mandir, I want to maintain this at all the time. Not just now and then, in and through. How I am a devotee who is a father. I'm a devotee, just like right now, I'm Mr. So-and-so, this, that. See, it is really amazing. Our relationship with Bhagwan is everlasting. But in the secular world, in the Vyavaharik world we live, that is the only thing they never ask. Think of it. How many times you and I must have filled out forms, applying for a job, applying for a license, all these things. And so many, sometimes they have no business, but they will still ask you, are you married, divorced? You know, all these things, single, married, divorced, all kinds of things, father to children, you know, all the medical, they will ask, father had diabetes or not, all these things. Do they ever ask you, are you a devotee? Think of it. The relationship that is permanent forever, nobody will ask. But marriage, the next to it, divorce, you know, single, all these things are there. Why? All those things come and go, right? But permanent, nobody is asking you. There was a 16-year-old young boy who came from village to Mumbai. And the boy was very skilled. He loved cooking. And he also was a good singer, but, you know, bathroom singer or whenever he felt like he would sing. And a young couple moved from Calcutta to Mumbai because they were executive, 27-year-old and she was 24. Both had a very nice job. And the company moved them to Mumbai. And they said, we'll also give you an apartment here on Pedder Road. So they get a nice apartment and everything. And they were looking for a servant and a cook. And somehow or other, this 16-year-old boy ended up at their home. Say, I will do cooking and also some miscellaneous thing, because cooking is only a few hour job in the morning and evening. And I will do some other things also. And he was cooking so well that this couple really loved him. But one thing they noticed, that whenever he was cooking, he was always singing, and sometimes even louder enough so they would hear him in the living room. But the fellow was singing so nicely, the couple would never tell them, hey, don't, you know, they encouraged. One day, the lady of the house thought, this guy is such a good singer. He loves to sing. So she went to him and he says, Pankaj, you sing so well. Would you like to go and learn music? Bhabhi ji, aapko to pata hai, meaning Bhabhi, you know, with my salary, I cannot go, and main to chota aadmi hu. I'm just a small man. I'm just a cook. How can I go and learn all these things? No, it's not for me. It was a bade log ke liye hai. It's for. So don't worry, we will pay. But you love it so much and you sing so well. Why don't you go to this school? And this, excuse me, 16-year-old boy now goes to music school. In less than 2 years, his teacher found out that, man, this is a hidden talent. And the teacher started promoting this cook. And the next thing he comes and tells, Bhabiji, I don't know how to tell you, but the song that they sang, suddenly this record has become popular, and now they want me to sing more and more. They want to give me so much money, and I'm sorry, but I cannot be a cook here. And she says, it is good. Teri pragati, if you go further in the world, more power to you. In 5 years, by the time the young 18-year boy now is 22, 23, he is known not only all over India, but Middle East, etc. Such a fantastic singer. Now it so happens, after one of his international tours, he comes back to Mumbai and he had some extra time and he was passing by Pedder Road. And he thought, I have some extra time. Let me go and see Bhai and Bhabhi, both in Samilani. So he goes upstairs. Now it just so happened, he comes, Are tu aa gaya, Pankaj, hi, come sit down, Pankaj. And there were a couple of other friends and their wives sitting who had no idea who this guy is. And their other cook who was supposed to be there was not there. So they were telling his servant, why don't you go and get this some food? This is before Uber and Zomato and all these things. Okay. So they are saying, servant, why don't you go and get some food for this? And the old cook, Pankaj, has just come. And he said, oh, Pankaj, you have some time. Let us order some food for Pankaj also, get some more. And Pankaj says, wait. Set to you mind, if I go in the kitchen and cook, I know what you love. If you don't mind, let me cook. Now he walks into the kitchen and starts cooking. But what happens? As he is cooking, the old Vasa, he starts singing. As he starts singing, the guests are asking, who is this person singing just like that Pankaj, the very well-known singer? Now what are they saying? It is that singer alone who is singing. Remember, now he is not a cook who is singing. Whatever he does now, it is that Gayak, the singer, who is singer morning, evening, afternoon, wherever he goes. Pankaj, the national singer that everybody knows. Right? It is that singer who is cooking in the kitchen. Not our old cook who is a singer. You see? That singer is in and through whatever he does. Thus, you and I want to quieten the mind. And one thing we have discovered, that when my attitude is that of a bhakta in a mandir, whereby all my karma and karma phala I offer to Bhagwan. And what comes, I accepted prasad buddhi, I feel like $1,000,000. Nobody feels sad in the mandir. They enjoy. My mind is quiet. I become one. And I want to keep that tempo all the time. So Bhagwan says, in order to remember, you have to do 3 things. Kaya, Vang, Mana, Karyam Uttamam. Karyam meaning things that need to be done. What are the things that need to be done? Nitya karma, Naimittika karma, and to a certain extent, Kamya karma that you are required to do in the world. Right? So while doing this, Karyam Uttamam, he says 3 things. With your physical body, Kaya, Vak, the speech, and mind. Kaya Vang Mana, Karyam Uttamam. Pujanam Japas, Chintanam Kramat. He says, in Kram, in superiority, really superiority is the word we use in English, but really it is Sukshma, Sukshmatara, Sukshmatam, subtle, subtler, subtlest. Meaning, when you do things physically, the gross thing is subtle. Then when you do it only with speech, japa, it is mental. And then chitta, dhyana is the best, pure, one is vak and one is mental. So these are, why is the kaya van mana, karyamutta pujanam japas chintanam, why kramat, the first one is kaya. Every child has learned tricycle and he enjoys and he doesn't fall down. When I do puja, what happens? Right? I collect typically, right? Now, nowadays, people don't have as much time for puja, especially here in the West, and perhaps the same thing is there in the cities in India. But we all have time to take that fruit out of banana, wash it, and offer it to Bhagwan. We all have time to light a little diya or incense in front of Bhagwan. Then depending on what you want to do, how much elaborate puja, but we all have time. Now tell me, when you take the fruit and when you are cutting the fruit, etc., with kaya, with sharir, with your body, but can you do this now? When you are doing it and when you offer, what do you do? Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramadam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadam. And then you put the prasad, bhog over there, etc. While doing this, you are either chanting some mantra, this or that, etc. Right? When you are doing things and doing puja, you don't sing film songs, etc. Right? So with vak, also, I'm thinking of God, I'm saying different mantras, etc. Right? And mind is where, hey, I think, look at this garden. Now March has come, April has come, and beautiful flower has come. Hey, let me go. No, it will take some time, but let me go out and pluck that flower along with the fruit. Let me also offer this flower to Bhagwan. Now your mind is thinking about what? That beautiful flower in the garden. Let me bring it and offer it to Krishna. So mind is involved. Vak, because you are chanting mantra, as well as kaya is involved. All the three are involved. Much easier for mind and vak to be involved when kaya is involved, when the body is involved. So much easier. So he says, this is kaya. And then vak is japa. And then he will explain that a little later. Now, please understand. Puja is a karya, right? Please think. Puja is an action. The action is done, what is it? Ishwararpitam na ichchayakritam chitta shodakam. The objective is what? To reduce the load on my mind, to purify my mind. So when I do the karya called puja, the karya is a physical action with vak and this, but the result is antakaran shuddhi. Just as after working in the yard for hours, especially during summer, you are sweating, feet and sometimes hands, etc., some dirt. Sometimes the dirt is on the face also. And you walk into the shower. Now you want to get rid of all these things. But instead of getting rid, what do? We put water on it and we even put soap on the body. Hey, you are trying to get rid of the dirt. Why are you putting more things? Wait. Now you will apply soap all over. Then again the shower water comes. Now what happens? Not only the soap leaves the body, along with it all the dirt also leaves. And the dirty body, that physical body that entered, comes out of the shower room as a clean physical body. In the same way, that mind that was toiling in the world from morning till evening, Kruti mahodadau patana karanam falamashashvatam, more and more vasna, now trying to maintain this, doing puja in the mandir at home or in temple, doing everything. Mind is thinking of that only. And this action has a result that purifies our mind. It is the soap for the antakaran. So this is why when we do puja, I'm not a priest, so I don't always remember this perfectly, so I will read it. It says what? Mama upata duritakshayam duritakshayartha Shri Parmeswara Pritiyartham Ahamidam Karishye. See, what is the sankalpa, Ganeshji always tells us to do, right? Mama upata durita. During careless work, selfish work, Kruti mahodadau patana karanam, I have accumulated so many vasnas. Kshaya artha, to reduce, to purify this vessel called my mind with so many vasna. Durita kshaya artha, Shri Parmeshwara Priti Artham. For Bhagwan's Priti, love for Bhagwan, Parmeshwara Priti Artham, Aham idam karishe, I, the perceiver, feeler, thinker, who did Kruti Mahodau for me and me. Now I am doing it. I am doing puja at your feet for my purification. What are we doing? Trying to invoke the bhakta in me while doing puja. And hopefully later, as I do more and more, the one who is not doing any puja, now he has started doing puja. Now I understand not everybody loves to do 2-hour puja, etc. But friends, we all can do. I'm talking about physical, okay, not mental puja. At least we all have always go to, as I was talking to you about Costco and bringing fruits, right? Thanks, by the way, several of you sent me an email how to keep avocados last long. bananas last long, etc. Thank you. But we all have fruits at home. Before you put the fruit in your mouth, why not offer it to Bhagwan? It takes less than 15 seconds. In April, when the mangoes come, why not the first nice canned ripe mango, cut it out or not cut, just offer it to Bhagwan and then eat. See, you teach your children also, if they are busy, give a little Krishna Murti, Rama Murti, Shiva Murti, whoever is your Ishtadevata, Bhagwan's Murti, and tell the children, beta, before you leave for school, just bow down and tell Bhagwan to give me Sadbuddhi. Just that is long in a puja because they barely get up, they are running. You ask them to do a lot, they will say, Mom, I don't want to do it. But this habit of accepting that there is a higher power, you and I understand, the children don't, but children will accept it because their mind is pure. Thus we get into this habit and slowly, we develop this relationship with Bhagwan. Remember, what is the objective? Don't forget. During waking, I feel totally bound because I have to do this. My son did this. There is a saying, there is a story that Bhagwan sent Bandhan to the whole creation. Say, you go around and see whoever wants to accept you. And Bandhan traveled all over the universe. Took 6 to 9 months, went from Africa to England to India and every place. Everybody said, we want freedom. We don't want you, Bandhan. Bhagwan, he goes back, so sorry, it's a Bhagwan, nobody wants me. Don't worry. Let us add some to Bandhan, Sambandh. He says, now you go back. Everybody says, I want you, I want you, I want you. And then they get bound with the Sambandh. He said, Bandhan nobody wants. But once Sambandh, relationship comes, now I have to do it. You know, they came to our reception. We have to go to their reception. Sambandh of that binds. The Bandhan nobody wants. But put the sum in front of it, everybody wants. Now think of it. With all that thing weighing heavy on my mind, when I go to sleep, and in deep sleep, do I have any bondage? Don't I feel totally free? In the same way, when I'm in Mandir, do I feel free or not? When I take my milk and give it to Ganeshji, and when the puja is going on, until I get fruits and until I step out, the same feeling, except I'm conscious, but I have dedicated myself and I want to maintain that feeling all the time. So now Bhagwan says, these are the 3 ways you can do it. So how do you do puja? Very, very beautiful. He's explaining, right? Jagatai, Jamuna, can you chant?
जगत ईषधी युक्तसेवनम् अष्टमूर्तिभृत् देवपूजनम् जगत ईषधी युक्तसेवनम् अष्टमूर्तिभृत् देवपूजनम् अष्टमूर्तिभृत् देवपूजनम्
Jagataishadi Yukta Sevanam Astamurtibhrat Deva Pujanam. So now Bhagwan is talking about how to do puja in various ways. One, of course, is mainly doing it in the mandir, in your puja room. But as one evolves, it has to expand, isn't it? Right? We always hear Jana Seva is Janardana Seva. So here Bhagwan says, Jagata Ishadi Yukta Sevanam. Sevanam, Seva. To dedicate, to do things as an offering. Not for me. Seva meaning service, duty. Not for me, for the benefit of others. Jagata Ishadi. Jagat, as we all know, Jagat meaning the world around me. See, the word itself is so beautiful. Right? Jagat cha jayate. That which is born, that which is created is represented by ja. Ga, gachati. That which goes on moving until one time it will disappear. Ja, ga, ta, tishtati. While it is here, it remains. Right? Now, for those of you who are taking some higher text, Mandukya, etc., please pay attention. But we all know that life is everywhere. Bhagwan is everywhere, or Chetan is everywhere. That Chetan with the cosmic power Maya, through which the creation comes. So there are three cosmic powers. Brahmaji, the creator. Ja, the very first word of this verse. Ja, jayate, Brahmaji. The third represents the tishtati, Bhagwan Vishnu. Isn't it? And during, remember, everything is dying continuously. Things are born and things are dying continuously. If you are 50 years old, you know that the body with which you were born, though everybody says the same name, etc., you are definitely not the same. Every cell of your body, the medical science tells us, is completely renovated. Old ones are thrown away, the new red cells, new white cells, bone marrow, continuously changing. So the old one goes on dying, the new one comes, gachati, it dies. So Shiva represents that laya aspect, jayati, gachati, tishtati, these three cosmic powers. The one that maintains is Vishnu. Right? And then this Vishnu, we accept as Ram avatar, Krishna avatar, as Hiranyagarbha, they take avatar. Chaitanya with its Maya, cosmic power, and then avatar, Ram, Krishna, etc. And where there is form. Form is much easier to do puja. Right? Symbols are nowadays, nobody, last time I was telling you, Christians and Muslims, when they try to convert, they criticize Murti puja, pagan, this and that, etc. But when you look at a cross, what is it? A symbol that reminds you of something. Right? In Olympic, every country marches with their flag. What is the flag? Flag is nothing but a Murti puja, isn't it? It's a symbol that reminds me of my country. Vivekananda was going to some Raja's place. This is before the British, when the British Raj was there. And this Raja was one of those who said, what is this? You have this picture and all this Bhagwan picture, and then you put a garland on it, and what is all these things? Vivekananda was a pretty well-respected person and a big person. And the Raja is there, and there was servant. So he tells the servant, wo photo nikal, bring that picture. It was Raja's great-grandfather's picture, the painting, etc. He says, bring it. And he says, tells the servant, spit on it. The servant is shaking. Because when Vivekananda says, you do it, and the Raja is there, Raja says, what are you talking about? He says, no, you are saying this picture of Bhagwan, what Bhagwan and what is there in picture? After all, this is all wrong. It is a picture. Then what is this, your grandfather? Isn't that also a picture? See, when other does it, it's all very easy to say it is all Murti Puja, Nikalo usko. But where are those? Nowadays, how can you deny? You buy iPhone, right? All those emojis, what are they, right? This. I mean, you name it and they're all what? Different murtis, different symbols, pratik. They are all symbols. Every idol reminds me of an ideal. When I understand, remember, go back, check Karturagnaya, that the Lord alone is responsible. I know, but when I make a pot as a pot maker, I have the knowledge, but the clay I have not created. But the creator not only is Sarvagnya, he knows it. Out of himself, he has created the earth. So he is in and through the entire creation. He has the knowledge. He is Sarvagna, all-knowing, all-pervading, and omniscient, because he has all knowledge, all power, all power. The one who has all knowledge, all power, and pervades everywhere, naturally he pervades me. And where is he not? Even an ordinary dream that I create, I am in and through. The dreamer is in and through the entire dream. So my Narayan, who has created this universe, and I am a part of it, Jiva. Mamem Vamso Jiva, right? Bhagavan says in chapter 15 of Gita. So I, who is part of this, and this Ishwar, think of it. In your house, there is a room. The room also is space. Before the house is built, the space is one. Now when the house is built, and it is a family room, now you call that a family room. But the space, though it is known as family room, the space is nothing but total space. Right? Now you happen to have a generator at home, and it is so cold. Electricity has gone out in the neighborhood, but your generator is working. So three of your friends say, hey, you are warm, we want to come over. And you say, look, you can come over. We don't have as many bedrooms. Bring your sleeping bags. Now what happens? The family room becomes a sleeping room or bedroom. Right? But doesn't the space of that room is still the space? There is no difference. You call it a family room when family gets together. You call it this. Similarly, the same Narayan, conscious principle, when it is as if functioning through this body, mind, and intellect, we call him Jiva. But this Jiva is just as the family room space becomes bedroom space. Call it different, a father, husband. The same individual is a bhakta in and through at all the time, the devotee. Once the devotee understands that this whole world is nothing but my Lord's creation, where is my Lord not? The dreamer is in and through the dream. Similarly, this entire universe, bound, made up of what he says, Jagata Ishati, so the Buddhi, the meaning Buddhi, Yukta, totally joined with a firm understanding that this entire world is my Lord alone. Jagata Isha. Isha meaning Bhagwan, Ishwar. My Lord, Narayan. Call him Ram, call him Krishna, call him Shiva. It matters not. Or call him Allah, call him Father in heaven. The same Narayan, the same Allah, the same Father in heaven, one alone, appears as many through this entire universe, but he alone exists. Firm understanding where? Not emotionally when the music is going on, but the individual has full understanding, meaning he is convinced in his intellect, Nischayatmik Buddhi, he is determined. Nobody can shake this feeling. So, Jagata Ishadi Yukta Sevanam. How? Astamurti Brut Deva Pujanam. Astamurti Brut. Asta meaning 5 plus 2 plus 1. 5, Akash, Vayu, Agni, Apa, Prithvi. Akash is space, Vayu is air, fire is Agni, Apa is water or Pani, and then earth, Akash, Vayu, Agni, Apa, Prithvi, earth. These 5 elements, the creator out of himself created, they are all inert. The sun and the moon, the luminaries. The sun represents all the stars that are there, no matter what the galaxy, and the moon represents all the planets, meaning the entire creation. And I, remember the family room, part of the house, part of the total space, I, the Jiva, the same Narayan, functioning through this body, we call it the soul or the Lord in my heart or Jiva. Because the Jiva now considers himself as separate from the total. I am a family room, I am a bedroom, but you are space only. So this Jiva, the sun and the moon and the 5 elements, all these 8, Astamurti Brut, Who are they supported by? Every wave is supported by who? The ocean, the creator alone. Similarly, Akash, these 5 elements, sun, moon, meaning all the stars, all the planets, and each individual. When Jiva, meaning not just me, all living beings, even a microorganism where the thing, Chaitanya manifests, and all the inert, Akasvaya, inert matter, all of them, Astamurti Brit, they are my Narayan alone. Once that buddhi comes, yukta, now what happens? The same person who was doing puja, he's not giving up his puja, but now his focus has changed from what? Jagata Ishadi Yukta Sevanam. Now I want to do Jagat ki seva. And the seva of the Jagat is Deva Pujanam. That puja that I am doing in the mandir is no different. In that murti, the idol, I was seeing the idol, the Lord who is everywhere. Now I understand that that Lord who is everywhere is not only in me, he is in everyone around me. So now who do I want to serve? Now I want to serve the entire Jagat. Not just limited puja in the mandir. Please understand, not to give up. But now my vision has expanded from a limited Krishna worship, or because you become fanatic, right? I'm a Shaivite, he's a for Vaishnava and all that. Now it has expanded to total. So he says, Jagata Ishati Yukta Sevanam Astamurtibra Deva Pujanam. If you touch any wave in the world, haven't you touched the ocean worldwide? You have, isn't it? Serve any human being, not for recognition, with the talent that you have. Remember, a doctor does not have to go and say, look, I want to do seva, I will come to your home and do painting, unless he's also a good painter, like that cook who is a singer. But if you cannot paint, no reason to go and give and spoil the wall that is already looking bad with poor color, now it is worse. No, you give your ability and treat patient, seeing the patient not as a patient, but as Lord alone. Please understand. See, even doctors give this bhakta bhavana. Think of it. A sick man goes there, he's a patient. Now the guy is healthy. And 3 months later, he meets him someplace and another, who is he? He's my patient. Arey, he's a healthy guy. Why do you call him a patient? He's my patient. In other words, once you are a doctor's patient, he keeps that Bhakta Bhagwan relationship with you all the time, right? No matter how healthy you are for next 10 years, right? Even after 10 years, how are you doing? Oh, he's my patient. You are thinking, doctor, I haven't seen you for 10 years. I'm healthy as a horse. And you are still calling me patient? Doctor says, just study Ramana Maharshi's Upadesh Sara. You are my patient because I keep that attitude. I think it's almost 11:15. We'll see next time. Jamuna, you want to conclude, please?
ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ
Hari Om, everybody.